Click. What is up, family? This is Nico. It is Sunday evening, and I'm checking with you for the weekend wrap up and hangout. Again, I'm recording my video this week pre-recorded because I'm having trouble streaming, and I don't know if it's the internet connection or my laptop, and I'll figure it out eventually, but not quite yet. So I don't know. I'm just pre-recording. So enjoy. If you're here, I'm happy that you're here, and I love you very much. And we are going to win the world together. So be pleased that you are on the winning team, fresh and early. You will feel so good that you were plugged in early. And anyway, the one that I love is everywhere. So if you are here, I am just so pleased to be here with you. And if you're hearing my voice from somewhere far away, a million years from now, or a million miles from here, or if I'm no longer with you, or you're no longer with us, just know that we're all one together, and that we are dancing and twirling in paradise, and we can all look forward to that. Life is so precious and wonderful and challenging, and there's so many ups and downs. That we have to give thanks, you know. So I love you very much. If you hear this message, I'm I'm here for you, and I'm carrying the vibe, and I'm being strong for you. And I love you very much. And that's all I have to say. That's all there is to ever say, and that's like the only thing that matters. And I just want to plug in with you for a moment, and for you to feel what I feel, and this is what I think about, and this is what runs through my head all day long. Is just, give thanks and praise, and do your best, and honor your life. And I've made so many darn mistakes along the way, and to have the opportunity to get up and keep trying is a blessing. So we're just gonna keep on fucking plugging away, and we're gonna win the whole darn thing. Yes, please. Just manifesting that good vibe and carrying that vibe and being people of character and quality and resilience and passion that we were born to be. And so, you know, whatever you're going through, if you're going through hell, keep going. So whatever you're going through, I'm right there with you, and I feel this every darn day, and I'm right there with you, and we're in the trenches. And, one of the best compliments I ever got in my entire life was I spent some time with a buddy. We were in school together, and we were, going through doing projects together and just working hard on stuff, and, really in a challenging, setting. And he told me that I'm the type of person that he would like to be in a foxhole with. And, he said it his own way or whatever. But man, what a powerful message, that was cool. I really took that to heart. It meant a lot to me, and I aspire to be that type of person, the type of person that you can depend on, and the type of person that, will be there for you when no one else is, and, that knows what it's like to be left out in the cold, and to be alone, and to be hurting, and to need someone, and to have to be your own support when you're not able to find the support of others. No matter who they are, and sometimes the people we thought that would always be there for us are not. And it is what it is, but you can resolve to always be there for yourself. And I've made that commitment, and I'm here for that, and I'm here for you, and I'm here to be the person that surprises other people by being there for them. They said, man, everybody that I needed wasn't there for me, and you are, and you don't even know me. And I've had this experience a number of times already of like people being surprised that I was able to do kindness for them in a way that, their close people were not able to. And that's such a blessing. Again, these are the moments that life is made of, and that are, these are the blessings that are just the gifts that keep on giving. I've received praise for giving kindness in, you know, in sometimes, and it's just so magical. And I wish for you to experience that too, because there are moments in this life, there really, really are moments in this life, where all of the where the mask comes down and all of the superficial stuff fades away, and you can look someone in the eyes and give them a real hug and know that, you know, that we're all going to live and we're all going to die, and someday everybody that you ever knew will be gone, and, you know, and all of our dramas of today really mean nothing in that cosmic scale. um, but we have each other here and now, you know. And so, if you're hearing this, I love you, and and I mean it. um, so yeah, so that's it, and I just want you to touch in with that. So let's go. Like, this world is like, we have an opportunity here, you know, to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all, and to really dig deep into ourselves and focus on what that looks like and what it's going to take for us to get there. And I'm, you know, committed. You know, that's such a big goal. It's like, how do we get from here to there? You know, and how do you eat an elephant? You know, one bite at a time, sort of thing. So, you know, I'm here this week, and I'm committed to be here every week. And, you know, I've got all the things I need to do done today. I'm here at a different time than I said I would be, but it's Sunday, and God darn it, I'm gonna get a video up, and I'm gonna speak out to you, and you know, do the thing so that we can connect and we can share the vision and cultivate the vibe. Um, you know, so we're getting there one step at a time. There's so much going on in the world, and it tends to be overwhelming. And, you know, honestly, like, do your best, do no harm. Like, you know, none of us is capable of doing the whole thing by ourselves, and, you know, I wouldn't want to. You know, I want to do it with you. I want for us to do it together. And we will, and it will be so glorious and so wonderful, when people realize, you know, that no amount of money or no amount of, you know, power or fame or prestige is worth harming, you know, harming the people that we love, and that love is everywhere, and in our hearts, you know, we just want to receive love, and that, you know, that's all the universe is made of. And you know, it's just for us to polish that gem, and you know, bring it out, and share that with the world. And we're getting better at it, you know, like, abusers abuse, and you know, victims put them, you know, become victims, and stuff, and you know, we're just human beings living these archetypes. You know, there's only so many thoughts a human being can think, and there's so many set responses that a human can give it in any situation, you know. And it's for us to navigate these paths, and you know, and find our way to meaning and joy, you know. And so, follow your bliss, um, balance vibrations, peaceful, gentle and kind, caring, thoughtful, treat others the way you wish to be treated. And the more we dive into this, we start to learn the principles of natural law. You know, everything originates in the mind. Every building was a thought, you know, and a drawing before it was a building. You know, before a forest can exist, you know, has to be a seed. And, you know, these sort of things: law of mentalism, polarity, gender, cause and effect, correspondence, you know, etc., etc., rhythm. The Kybalion, I offer this often, you know, the Kybalion. It's a Kybalion, written by uh, Hermetic teachers from ancient Greece and Egypt, and perhaps even further back to like Atlantis or whatnot. I recommend this book to everyone. I think it should be required reading for all living beings. You know, this is what we will teach in our new schools. I had a vision this week of, you know, where I'm going with this, and, you know, what my part of this manifestation looks like. And I really feel a passion to create a mystery school, where I can teach, you know, these things, and help share these experiences and help guide our young, our youth into living in a righteous way, somewhere in the mountains, something like that. And you know, so I'm doing a lot of you know, a lot of planning and strategizing, and vision boarding and manifesting and stuff like this to help get us in that place. And Um, yeah, we're gonna get a big ass piece of land in the mountains and have a mystery school and teach our children to be rock star magicians, in the best way, where love flows freely everywhere you go, and the whole world lights up every time you step in the room, and the flowers bloom at your feet, etc., etc., just like the yogis and so forth. And that, you know, I don't know. I've been having nice dreams as well, really heart connected dreams where I'm just like, you know, connected in a good way, and these sort of things, and just simplifying. And I've really simplified my life a lot. Um, right now I'm not at home. I'm up on the Front Range and doing some work, and gym work, sleep, repeat sort of vibe, and it's great. And I was having a conversation with my buddy yesterday about how, like, when things get too comfortable, is when you fall into habits, and desire creeps in, and laziness and whatever. And so I just had to come up here and make things uncomfortable a little bit and fucking grind a bit and put myself in that good position. So I'm up here on the Front Range. I'm getting it in every day. Getting my exercise, getting in the gym, and doing my work and whatnot. And I encourage you to pick up on that vibe as well. We can do it. We can do it together. We are doing it right now. Your best is always good enough. Your best is always good enough, and only you can know that. So find it in your heart. Find that place of purity. Love yourself, and rise and shine. And I'm here with you, 100%. So, having said that, I got some new articles posted up today from the American States Assembly from Anna von Reitz, and I read these. These are very nice, and we're just chugging along, reconstructing the American Republic. I encourage everybody to research this information and consider it carefully, and consider if you would like to correct your status as well and join in with the American States Assembly and get out from maritime admiralty law and corporate corporations and dead debt entities and this whole word magic, Babylonian Hollywood nonsense, where they're trying to distract you with entertainment, away from the simple truth of be good and do good, and the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, etc., etc. So, ooh, this is a new article. I haven't even read this one yet. Planning committees. This is an interesting article. So according to Anna von Reitz, it looks like the U.S. corporation may intend to do some cover-upping in the nation of Haiti. We will see how that fits in, how that happens. Really, this guy David E. Martin, ooh, fantastic. I recommend his work very highly. Very smart, very studious, multiple PhD holder, if I remember correctly, and fantastic work. He's done a lot of work on the sickness scare thing, and the things that have come out of that, and it's really good. Stuff about the Philippines, how the United States of America actually purchased the Philippines for 20 tons of gold, $20 million worth of gold, and that there's intrigue about gold in the Philippines. Really interesting article as well. And then land swindling, basically the British United States corporation has been like selling land that doesn't belong to them. That's the whole thing about land titles being fraudulent, etc., etc. This stuff is all fantastic. I'm not going to go over it all in detail right now, but I recommend highly getting reading it yourself and considering it and doing some research and finding out the truth of it. The more that I've researched, the more it confirms the truth of it. I've been following Anna von Reitz's material for 5, 6, 7 years, and there's not a significant point of contention that I have with her material, and that's why I've corrected my status and joined with the States Assembly. True sovereignty, of course, starts from a spiritual understanding that we are divine and that we have a right to self-determination, etc. But from that point, we can use our sovereignty to come together, and we can devote a portion of our sovereignty to communal action of restoring our constitutional republic, and kicking out criminal pirate corporations that are predatory towards living beings, and opposing um, harm to innocent life everywhere, uh, especially including the most vulnerable and innocent members of our society, etc. Perhaps people are paying attention to this fashion company, Balenciaga, um, really disgusting marketing stuff, and that's starting to come out in the open. That these people are connected to have some pretty twisted views on how children should be depicted in advertising. We'll just leave it at that. Dig into that rabbit hole, please, because there is juice there. And be prepared for what you find, because that rabbit hole goes very deep. I encourage us all to go all the way deep into the goodness of our soul and to find the purity and the truth in there, because we are going to need it. So I'll leave it there. That issue with protecting children is the most important issue of our time. It has to be confronted. It has to be seen for what it is and brought out into the public view, and justice must be brought to that. So as far as children being transported against their will, and issues at various borders around the world, issues with commercializing of human flesh, etc., which is something that is specifically talked about in the Anavam rights material a lot. One thing that people don't realize is that we ourselves, if you have a U.S. corporate birth certificate, we're human trafficked before we even left the hospital, because those birth certificates are commercialized and are basically foisted upon our mothers without condition of full disclosure. They're fraudulent contracts. So anybody that has a corporate birth certificate that is identifies as a U.S. citizen, or ever did, or whatever citizen of your country, because it all goes back to the United Nations, it goes to Rome, the Vatican, etc., have been human trafficked, and we should be pissed about it, and we should demand justice for it. And an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, and we turn the other cheek. But yet and still, justice will be served, and the balance of our actions will come to pass. And this is one reason. Once you understand the law of cause and effect, the natural law from the Kabbalion, etc., you understand you don't slide anything past the goalie when it comes to just behavior. Jah sees everything. Pachamama feels everything. And we have to be good little boys and girls, good, strong, powerful men and women, and hold ourselves righteously. So, every day a little bit better. Every day I love my life a little bit more, and every day I rededicate, and every day is a new chance to be your best self. And so let's go. I'm doing better than I've ever done before, but yet there's still so much work to be done, character development and commitment, etc. So, let's recommit and let's get in there. So that's that. Okay, so that's how I'm feeling about the sovereignty stuff at the moment. We tune into the Colorado State's Assembly call every week. I missed it this week. I was meeting with a buddy, so I missed it this week. But I'll keep you guys posted on interesting things that are happening with that. Any of my buddies that are in Colorado, please correct your status. Join the Colorado State's Assembly. We can start populating our counties together, and doing this work that needs to be done. It's etc. And there is a lot of work to be done, but this is the way forward. Anybody that's wanting to start an NGO or start a artist collective or start, these are all great ideas, but if you do it under the corporate flagship or whatever, the way that we've been trained to do it, it's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. We have to get out from under that and get into our unincorporated capacity, where we have the protection of the Constitution, and we can assert our God-given rights, etc., etc. So that's that. I'd like to do the aims of this channel. There's the sovereignty component. There's the mystery and mystery school, occult, psychedelic component. There's the financial literacy and planning component. We'll talk about crypto a little bit. And then there's memes for a larf. Um, I already kind of touched on the most important, like, mystical, spiritual stuff at the beginning. Like, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to find the goodness in your heart and to express it to the highest ability, and to love yourself for giving the effort and to pick yourself up when you fall. I can go deeper into natural law and some of those other things, but at the end of the day, the law of one: treat others the way you wish to be treated, because they are you. They are a mirror of you. They are a reflection of you, and they deserve as much love from you as you give to yourself. So treat you never know when you're entertaining the company of angels. Or demons, and the demons are not to be feared. They're to be loved. We can love demons into submission. It can be done. um, you know, uh, Firm boundaries and understand the behavior. No, we don't love, but the spirit and your soul. Yes, feel the pain. I see the ignorance. I have compassion for what a wretched situation you found yourself into. Talking about demons or demonic people and these sort of things, and really interesting. I was watching the Kanye interview this week with Alex Jones, which is great. um, I'm such a champion of free speech that I love it when people challenge boundaries and test out new ideas or theories, or challenge assumptions and stuff like that. And so I don't know if you saw it. You probably know what Kanye was talking about. He was saying how he has love for for Hitler, and and the Nazis, and they provided, they had technological developments and whatnot, and as a champion of free speech, again, I don't agree with all the components and hate. You don't love the behavior but love the person, and understand that there's a lot of people that got a lot of the foot soldiers in those situations got caught in bad situations, and they did things that they wouldn't otherwise have done. And that, again, you can hate the behavior, but we have to understand that um, we're all beings of value, and we all deserve love, etc., etc. So, and it's challenging, and in these times, when people have such powerful opinions about different topics, and it's important because people's lives are on the line, etc. People get passionate, but we just have to find that common ground of understanding that, like, our peace is our most valuable possession, and to put that first. And I had a conversation with my dad about it, and we were kind of talking about some of these topics that were brought up. Um, and I don't know. I just, like, I have always known since I was very young that peace was incredibly important. And I just think people underestimate it, and it's one of those things where you don't realize how valuable it is till it's gone, sort of thing. And I'm thankful that I've always had that value, and it's made me always stand up for the underdog, and to always see the potential in challenging situations, and always be kind of optimistic that, like, somehow, some way, we can make peace out of this, and that if we can remove the element of human conflict in so many of our interactions and daily struggles or whatever, that that we can create a just by removing the human conflict component, we can prosper in so many ways, and we can, things that would otherwise have been impossible uh, become possible when you remove the conflict and start engaging in cooperation and teamwork. The Dalai Lama talks a lot about interdependence and cooperation, stuff like that. So these are valuable concepts to meditate on. So anyway, those are some of the conversations that are flying around right now. And I think there are legitimate conversations to be had about critiquing certain groups, or certain, it's a it's a challenging conversation to have, because you want to be able to talk about and describe group-based behaviors without grouping everybody into a certain category or something like that. So, you can talk about individuals, but you can also talk about, if you're going to talk about groups, I guess you need to be specific. So like when I speak about, my criticisms of, certain components of, um, certain components of the Jewish people, and I say this as a person coming from a Jewish background, I say, listen, I have a real problem with political Zionism and the state of Israel. And, you want to talk about anti-Semitism, you cannot have an honest conversation about that without acknowledging that genetically, the Palestinian people are more likely to be Semitic than the people who are living in Israel and claiming that lineage. And that's a conversation that needs to be had with precision and and had clearly, etc. But I have a lot of compassion for the people living in that area, and ultimately, at the end of the day, we just want to see peace. But peace means respect. Peace means empowerment. Peace means not only acknowledging the equality of your neighbor and your brothers and sisters, but um, engaging with their prosperity. Hold on a sec. There's a little bit of a leak, but that's okay. Um, so anyway, I'm happy to have that conversation, and I really, I look forward to engaging in these type of dialogues with, you know, with other people that we can kind of get, have more of a back and forth, and it's not just me putting my speech out there. I mean, I don't know. I've made it pretty clear how I think. I think the world is a magical place of abundance and manifestation, and the whole thing is quantum, and that if we put enough love into it, we can do whatever we dream of, and that we can literally create peace on earth, and then shortly after that, we'll create heaven on earth, and et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's entirely within our grasp. And if it wasn't for the machinations of, people who, are ignorant enough to believe that Satanism is a good choice, and that are, intend to cause harm to innocent life, etc. And in particular have have had their hands on the levers of power as far as central banking and money goes, and all the resource allocation that's tied into that. Then we can have this come forward quite quickly, and it will be awesome and amazing. So full stop. That's a lot of stuff, but very interestingly enough, we're right at that point in time where these things are happening, and it's exciting and challenging, and we're right there. So keep on, and be sharp. Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, peaceful as a dove, gentle, I believe. Wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So on the prosperity note, I'm gonna switch modes, and I'm gonna pull up some charts, and we'll take a look at what the markets are doing this week, and I'll kind of continue to go over my trading philosophy. This is just going to be kind of a narrative. We're just going to go week to week. We're just going to watch what's happening, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing, tell you what I'm thinking, and see where we're going with it. The Let's go check out, I wanted to show some of the content from Road to Ruda. This is Bix Weir. He's in the silver industry for a long old time, and has been watching the manipulation on the commodities exchange. And here, we're starting to get some like red alert sort of stuff as far as like the U.S. Mint loses 117 million on Silver Eagles, naked shorting silver, etc., etc. And talking specifically about the deliveries on the COMEX coming up into the month of December is looking like, it's looking like they're coming to a point where they may not be able to make their deliveries, etc. And the lid is perhaps about to blow. And especially with some of the other macroeconomic stuff that we're seeing, it is possible that could start
any old time. I don't put much stock into the silver prices, although you see them going up because this is exactly where they're being manipulated on the commodities exchange. Except to say that at some point, when people realize that the dollar is being printed to oblivion and that they're going to need to get into commodities, at some point people are going to just start buying it to a point where they may not be able to suppress the price the way that they're used to. For instance, this is what we saw in nickel back in March. It went from about 1,800 up to 5,500. I don't know if that's dollars per. It's not dollars per ounce. I don't know, per pound or whatever. And it did that in a span of like 4 days. It went up. That was like a 4x, something like that, which in the commodities market or in the precious metals market is quite a big pop there. So we could see things like this. And from my understanding, like silver being like kind of the linchpin in this whole commodities exchange and being such a useful metal, is likely to be the last one to where we would see this type of pump. So we might be likely to see, and we have been seeing gold coming up. It's done 10% in the last couple weeks. So some of these other ones might run first, but eventually silver is kind of where a lot of the action is happening. The 10-year yields continued to come down. Like back here in September when they were like nothing but straight up, we were hitting some kind of like danger zone, like the economy is like, think something's about to break sort of situation. But since then, we got some retrace and it's been coming back down. With this coming back down, we've seen some of the stock market and such go up. We've seen the dollar, the DXY, been coming down during that time. And as the dollar dominance goes down, people have been putting more money into, kind of risk assets. So we've seen Dow Jones has been up for a while, and it's actually set a new higher high. We're seeing NASDAQ. NASDAQ has been up, and in fact, I was looking at this last week. It is very nearly approaching an all-time high, so it's quite interesting. She didn't. I didn't know what to do.
That's okay. I'll go feed her now.
Word. I'm working on a video right now. I don't mind it. I wonder if.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we're also seeing the S&P here hitting a local high, which I've been kind of watching this because what we see is what we've seen is the crypto markets have been following the S&P pretty closely as well. And as we're hitting this kind of resistance in this downward channel, I'm wondering if we're going to see it start to retrace down to the downside, and if it does, there may be some buying opportunities and some downside pressure. So I'm kind of like keeping to the sidelines and watching for that. So now that we've kind of seen the traditional markets, I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin has been mostly sideways for the last couple of days. It did pass through this downward resistance, and it's kind of pushing up towards the 50-day EMA here, but really not showing too much strength just yet. And we're also coming up on this bearish new moon energy, or the full moon energy. So we may be in for some volatility, especially considering that we have there's a Fed meeting coming up on Tuesday, I believe, the 6th, or maybe it's Monday and Tuesday, Monday going into Tuesday. And if they decide to continue raising rates, then we might see a sell-off going into the full moon. Or if they continue, they've been kind of talking dovish lately, so if they do a smaller rate change or even pause changing rates, then we would be likely to see people get excited and put some money into the market. What I was looking at earlier on the weekly chart is just, here we are on the weekly, like the last couple times it's pressed up onto this red line, this 21-week moving average, that has been the time when it dumped, and that was going back here, but more particularly here, here, and here. So for it to get back up to the 21-week moving average would be somewhere around 18.6, or 18.6 this week, or maybe kind of down to this 18.3-ish next week. from which it might try to come down and catch some of this liquidity zone between 13, 14K. If the macro does turn out to be bearish, which I'm kind of gonna watch pretty closely this S&P numbers, because it is right on this channel that it already has respected once, twice, 3 times. So if it starts coming back down this way, we may see Bitcoin come down towards that 13, 14K zone, especially considering there's still liquidity issues in crypto. There's still rumors that Genesis, which is, I guess, the lending arm of Gemini, is vulnerable. And also we continue to see, something that I've heard Richard Hart talk about is the grayscale Bitcoin discount is still like 40% or something like that. And until that goes away, it's going to be really hard for Bitcoin to go up, and Bitcoin is the driver of the crypto market. So we may still see some downside. I think I'm likely to, this is me sharing my strategy. I have continued to, because there's the likelihood for continued downside, I'm sitting on the sideline and waiting for good opportunities. My dollar cost average strategy for the last couple months, like if you have no crypto and you're just kind of wanting to dip your toes, is I've been buying on the full moons, because those are bearish energy. So we're coming up on this full moon. There are some things, like for instance, I was just listening to a channel. I'll show you the video. I was just watching. You're gonna see. Okay. I watch basketball highlights and Magic stuff and crypto stuff on YouTube. So now you know my whole secret sauce. So feel how you want to about it. But I'm here on this Access Alive channel. He gives really good analysis of what's going on in the crypto markets, particularly in the Hex ecosystem. If you don't know, Hex is trustless yield, decentralized, in your own wallet, and did very well over the last 2 years. It hit a maximum when it hit its peak. It was at about 9,800x from the low, which means every dollar you invested, if you bought the low, was $9,800 at the peak. So it's not hard to do the math to say that that was quite good. And now we're seeing it trade down at 2.9 cents. So we'll just kind of show, we'll go into the weekly and show this chart doesn't actually get all the way to the back. And this here is the logarithmic chart. You'll see it looks very much different if I put it on the linear chart. The linear chart, like, it emphasizes basically, each segment is the same here, so it emphasizes this big bullish push, but all this stuff down here gets squished to minutia. But really, if you look at it logarithmically, this is all gains here. And so logarithmically is a base 10 chart. So like every move up, instead of being the same size, it's you're looking at like, you're looking at like 10x's versus just linear. Anyway, turning on the log chart is part of the chart is really good for being able to see like percentage gains and like how many x's something is doing, if it's really putting on x's or if it's losing a lot. So anyway, here on the Hex USD chart, we're seeing it's kind of following this channel. This is acting as resistance here. It may be coming up to test it as well, but we're also seeing it starting to kind of flatten out and respect like some of these lower bounds. So it's possible this is kind of like this scooping pattern to where it could precede some sort of breakout. And so Hex is starting to look more nicely postured. It is still correlated with the rest of the market. So if Bitcoin takes a dump, we could see Hex take a dump. I've been kind of targeting, if it comes down towards this like lower support level, especially this kind of liquidity band here, if it hits down towards between 1 and 1.5 cents, that would be really nice opportunity. And everything else in the Hex ecosystem looks really nice as well. Hedron's been down quite a bit the last couple weeks, and it's looking like it's looking for support, and it's got a lot of thin air above it. And etc. We can talk more about these things. I think that the Hex ecosystem has one of the strongest theses in crypto right now, which is trustless yield, decentralized in your own possession. Not your keys, not your coins. A lot of people just lost a lot of money giving their keys to other people for FTX and Luna and Celsius, and this did not affect Hex stakers at all. They just continue earning yield on the sidelines. Now, Hex is a ERC20 token, which means that it kind of goes and floats along with Ethereum, at least until PulseChain launches. You can check out pulsechain.com. And they have their testnet is up, so you can download MetaMask, fire it up, put in the PulseChain RPC information, and start playing around with that. It's really cool. And that was created specifically to help Hex users be able to enjoy the staking feature and earn trustless yield without having to incur high Ethereum gas fees, which right now are somewhat reasonable. Ethereum transactions are, on Uniswap, doing a swap is, $3, something like that, $5. And staking and stuff is somewhat affordable. But man, when I first got into crypto back in spring of 2021, during this bullish segment over here, to do a swap on Uniswap was like $30, and to do any sort of like transaction or transfer, even just to transfer coins from one wallet to another, was like $10-12, which is absolutely insane, and it made Ethereum functionally unusable. Which is something to continue looking at. Like, Ethereum is the number 2 coin in crypto as far as market cap, etc. But it's not invulnerable. It just did its merge from proof of work to proof of stake, and that all seems to have gone well. But how it handles the load, I mean, I was looking at it only does about 26 or 30 transactions per second, which is not going to be enough. If people want to do metaverse or GameFi or any of these things, and Ethereum scaling has been a big topic of conversation. There are some scaling solutions that, kind of feed certain transactions off chain to be processed and then bring them back on chain to write them to the blockchain. And they've been talking about this process of sharding, by which they split transactions into shards to be processed independently and then somehow put back together to be written to the blockchain. Same thing, and their goal is 100,000 transactions per second. But right now, when I looked today, it said it was about 30 transactions per second. So they got a long way to go. And if that doesn't work, then all of these Ethereum-based blockchains are going to have limited use as far as like scaling the way that they need to be globally viable. Having said that, Pulse Chain is really cool, and like some of these other EVM-based chains, Phantom, AVAX, Matic, Arbitrum, Optimism, you can scale horizontally, and this is what Richard Hart talks about as far as Ethereum. Scale horizontally. Like, hey, you don't have enough grills to serve all of your customers at McDonald's, and you got to line out the store and people are unhappy. Okay, build another one across the street. Why are there Starbucks, literally in some places across the street from each other? Well, because there's demand for it, and because horizontal scaling is often efficient and effective. So in any case, this is what I have been looking at in the markets. I'm waiting for to see what happens with the energy of the full moon, and look for some opportunities. I continue to dollar cost average. I've been specifically focusing on dollar cost average into yield bearing assets. So, Hex is the trustless yield. I picked up some of these ASIC miner coins. So now I'm mining Pulse Bitcoin, which is a pretty interesting project. It basically replaces the Bitcoin miners that are using a ton of electricity with these ASIC tokens that you're able to mine Pulse Bitcoin that way. And and this Pulse Bitcoin, it's kind of a meme coin, but it's a store of value in ERC20, so it has every possibility to do well. And it's in its first halving, so there's going to be more of it mined in the next couple months. Then, after that, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. So this is a pretty interesting opportunity, reasonable place to dip your toes, and print your own money. If you're mining Pulse Bitcoin or if you're mining regular Bitcoin, you're printing your own money. And it's just a matter of how efficient it is and what the price is and how effective that is. This being a new coin and the inflation being the highest, obviously it's going to go down for a while. But once it finds a floor, and these halvings start happening, and it's a lot harder to mine new ones, at some point the price is likely to go up. We'll see what happens with that. And then the other coin that's doing a lot of inflation but has an interesting game theory is Zen, which has continued to go down, except for, see here, this one green candle. This is a weekly candle. It went from 5 zeros and a 6 up to 4 zeros and a 6, basically. So this one weekly candle was a 10x. So Zen is really interesting. It's a fair design, a fair launch design. I can actually pull it up. Zen.network is the website. They've launched on all of these different chains, so whatever chain you like. Ethereum is holding the highest value, and I'll explain why in a moment. But basically on all these chains, you can go to it, you can click mint, connect your wallet. I'm not going to do any of that right now, but connect your wallet and it'll allow you to mint coins, and the only requirement is for you to pay the gas fee for the transaction to mint the coin. And it'll ask you how long you want to, in the future, you would like to mint your coin, and the further out you push your mint date, the more coins you'll get. Up to, like, I've got some on the first day it was like 90 days max, so I got some that I did for 90 days, and they'll be coming out here next month. And then as more people joined into the project, that gate became longer. So I've got some mints that are coming out in like 400 days, so they'll be out fall of next year or whatever. And the inflation is very high at the beginning, but as more people join the project and as more days pass, the early adoption bonus goes down, etc. To where the point is, like, where I minted, on day one, and I was getting like, I don't know, like 15 million Zen for a 90-day mint. After all of the early adoption incentives go to zero, like it's an 8-year rollout. So at the end of 8 years, they will only be able to mint 10 Zen per day. So obviously 10 Zen per day is not very much compared to early minting and getting 10 million or 20 million. And it's a free mint. The only thing you have to do is pay the gas for the transaction, so you can mint as many as you like, which is interesting. There was a lot of like bot farming of people coming in and just having bots set up that were making hundreds of wallets or whatever. But interestingly enough, they kind of ran into a paywall in the sense that they still had to pay gas on those transactions. So even if you're batch minting 1,000 wallets, and the Ethereum fee is $5 or 10, $20. I mean, on day one it was like 20 something bucks because the network was clogged. That's 20 grand to mint 1,000 wallets. There is an economic stability point to where it becomes inefficient to mint new wallets, and you might as well just go to the market and buy it off the market. And that's kind of what we've seen that there has been kind of a price floor here, right, at about 5 zeros and a 5.7, and that's where it's at right now. And we'll see if it pops up again, like it did in these two times. The first pop was bigger, second pop was smaller. Who knows? Very interesting though. Really good way to get your feet wet if you've never messed with crypto, or if you're just setting up your MetaMask and you want something to play with. On the Ethereum fees, a minting is like $2 to $5, but on Binance it's a couple cents. On any of these other ones, it's like not more than a couple cents or whatever. So you can mint some Zen and hang on to it for a couple years and see what happens. There have been some opportunities, like where if you were savvy about selling off a portion when it pumped or whatever, and if you're doing just like one day mints or a couple day mints and selling it off, that you could well cover your cost of minting, and then you're playing with house money at that point. And that's kind of where I'm aiming to get at with it, is to get to a point where you're able to take out the money that you put in and then be playing with house money and earning passive income the whole time, and changing our lives and stuff. And so I'm trying to offer this education for people to be able to learn these tools and skills and just kind of learn about crypto and you know, get an overview of the market. Again, like my basic market thesis at the moment is that the macro is fucked. They're printing the Federal Reserve note to zero, and that commodities, in particular silver, because it's one of the most price suppressed assets in history, really, is going to be useful to hold. And that's the easiest thing for somebody that doesn't know anything about the economy or anything about what's going on. They're just realizing that inflation is stealing their money from their bank account every single day, which is the mechanism. Inflation is the hidden tax. That's the mechanism. And they want to do something. And so I think silver is kind of easy mode, and then crypto is like for more people that are more engaged with the process and you know, can have a little bit higher risk tolerance and are interested in higher, you know, more proven ROI. Like the proven ROI on silver is actually not particularly good. It was, you know, it hit its all-time high back in 1981 at $50 and tapped it again here in 2011, and you know, has been mostly meandering. The thing about silver is that, you know, you're basically betting on you know, the price suppression to be alleviated at some point for it to be able to find its true market value. And if you listen to the Bix Weir material, you'll see that, you know, these the U.S. Mint and some of the COMEX and these things, they're not holding as much physical silver as they say they are, and they're not able to make good on the deliveries that they've promised, and that at some point someone's going to call their bluff. And you know, when they realize that there's way more demand for silver than the supply of physical silver to back it up, because they've just been trading paper silver this whole time, that there will be a price discovery moment, and it will likely to become unobtainium, as Cliff High describes it, and we could see silver up to $600 or up in the thousands, etc. A lot of people talking about this. There's no shortage of people talking about silver as an investment online. You can search different places. But yeah, the Bix Weir Road to Ruta stuff is where I learned about that, and you know, I have been reading his articles and listening to it and listening to other people's. I also listened to Mike Maloney over on Gold Silver. I think it's goldsilver.com, and he's saying all these same things. It's a good idea to hold some physical assets in your own possession. And then the crypto is just a risk reward play. You know, Bitcoin went from 1 penny to $69,000. Kind of don't need to say anymore. You know, Ethereum did a 2500x or whatever. Let me see if I can find. I downloaded a chart today. I think I put it in my meme folder. Yep, here it is. So this is comparing layer ones when they first launched, as far as like blockchains and what they did. Ethereum from its initial coin offering to the all-time high was what is this? These are, I think, yeah, I don't know if that's the price or I don't know what this first ICO to all-time high is. Maybe that's price. Anyway, this is the X's that it did, 15,500X on Ethereum. So $1,000 to 15.5 million. Solana. Oh, this is days. 2,300 days. Solana in 605 days did 1,100X, turned $1,000 into 1.1 million. Ada Cardano in 1,400 days did 1,200X, $1,000 to 1.2 million. AVAX Avalanche in 425 days did 289X. You get the picture. These L1s have done exceptionally well. The average is Ethereum and BNB are kind of skewing this. BNB did a 5,000X over with an average of 3.8 years. So if your average over 3.8 years of investing in brand new L1s is to take $1,000 and turn it into 3.9 million, I would say that's a pretty good return on investment. And this is why Pulse chain is pretty exciting. If it does anything near that, I will be a very happy camper, etc., etc. So, past performance is no guarantee of future performance, but it is an indication of what can happen. And so this is the type of opportunity, and I'm screaming it at all my friends. And crypto's down right now. It's down 90%. It's a buy opportunity. Not saying it couldn't go down further, but like you're definitely not buying the top right now. you know. So and also like we're at this place where there's really cool stuff going on with DeFi, with trustless yield, with new projects coming along, and like really good stuff going on, to where we didn't have this opportunity in previous cycles. And I think in the next cycle, 2023, 4, 5, we're likely to see crypto go kind of mainstream, and people are actually going to start using it a lot. So right now we're still at the early adopter phase. We're still at that point where in a couple years people are going to say, "Oh, you got in on that? Like, oh, you're so lucky." And it's like, nope. Fortune favors luck. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So I intend on being there. And if you're listening to this and you're here with me, then fuck yeah, let's win the world together. So that's my spiel. Like I said, I think, hedge my bets between silver and crypto, and then until I get an opportunity to buy some real estate or something, get some physical land, that at some point will come into the picture as well. And keeping a minimal amount in the bank. It's entirely possible with the way the Federal Reserve notes are structured. It is their property. They printed it. It belongs to them. You are just using it as a U.S. corporate citizen. And they have every darn right to freeze bank accounts and so forth if they need to in order to pay off their debts and so forth. And you should know that. You should know that your bank account is not protected from those sort of things, to my understanding, et cetera, et cetera. So, as a U.S. citizen, now if you correct your status as an American national, and you redeem your checks for lawful money, 12 USC 411, and you talk to your bank manager or have a note put onto your account that say all your funds are denominated in lawful money, then theoretically they should not be subject to bank freezes, and the Federal Reserve or IRS or whoever should not be able to. They do not have jurisdiction over that money. However, I still think it's a good idea to keep as little as necessary in the bank for now until we see some of these macro things resolve. And there's just too much opportunity in some of these other places. It just makes sense. So anyway, we're going on kind of long. I was going to do like a shorter video today, but here we go. And I'm rambling and I like to talk, so it goes like that. Let's get to the fun part of the video and let's pull up some memes. See what's happening this week. I'm keeping my memes like mostly, not too inflammatory. Particularly speaking about the health issue and the untested intramuscular drugs issue. So those things I'll talk about. I'll post memes and stuff about on my Telegram channel. But I'm just focusing on other stuff because I know what a sensitive topic that is for people who are not as big of a fan of free speech as I am. But trust me, I have strong opinions about that, and I very much like to share and meme about them. I just am not going to put it on YouTube. So anyway, hey, there we have Marxism, climate hysteria. Yup, if they couldn't tax you on it, they wouldn't do it, even if it was good for the world. One truth is holding humanity back from its true potential. Yup, agree with that. We are the resistance, all the NPCs together supporting all the corporations, and they somehow think that they're edgy and doing something. When the government says you don't need a gun, you need a gun. I like this. When you finally heard enough small talk at the family gathering and decide to add flat Earth into the mix, send it. True Earth. I'm in a group called Hexagon True Earthers, and I think that's a much better way of describing it. Of the term flat Earth is a psyop. It was coined by the Central Intelligence Agency basically to discredit anybody who was questioning the narrative that they were putting together with NASA, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't prefer to use that term anymore because I know it triggers something in people's brains where they just turn off about considering anything. But True Earth, more I like to say that I believe that we have been misled about the shape and nature of reality. So I don't need to talk all this flat Earth stuff, but clearly I believe we have been misled about the shape and nature of reality. It's clearly it's a magical electromagnetic space-time continuum, but as far as like the physical land we live on, I think there's other places. I think there's other continents and stuff that we basically just are never allowed to have access to. You can only go to one teeny tiny part of Antarctica. Why? There's only, oh yeah, we went to Antarctica and paid fucking $40,000 for a week to cruise to like one teeny tiny part of it, and everything else is off limits, and they have like very strict international treaties that don't let anyone do anything useful down there. Yeah. Anyway, rant over. Be careful, there are hunters and I love you. Disparwatiko. I just think that's a really cool design. I'm gonna pull up Telegram. I've been like not sure how to organize my memes so that I can get the YouTube appropriate ones, but not, yeah. But I've got some good ones in here. Let's see. Let's go back to like last week. Okay, we'll just start here. Missing children, the real pandemic. Yup. Dating in a feminist world. Would I mind being financially destroyed by this female? Not always true, but definitely part of the calculation. Pineal gland decalcifiers, very nice. I'm trying to have a good mix of like healthy memes and stuff as well as just like funny and like tongue-in-cheek stuff. What are my favorites here? I like Blue Lotus, Passion Flower. These are really good for smoking. Reishi, really good, goes in your coffee or whatever. Albizia, I don't know what this is. Cassandra, really good for like beauty and youthifying, not euthanizing. Chaga, king of medicinal mushrooms, according to David Wolf, goes real well with reishi in coffee and stuff. Ginkgo for memory, moringa, wonderful plant for basically just everything. You can just have it all the time. Turmeric, anti septic, inflammatory, etc. Aloe. Don't beg anyone to get on the ark. Just keep building and let everyone know the rain is coming. Yep. I'm on that vibe. Do your thing. Keep building, and if people figure it out, they do, and if they don't, they don't. Don't give a man a weapon until you've taught him how to dance. I really like this one. That's very nice. What are you going to make for Christmas? Probably a fucking scene. Yeah. This is, I was just as pleased to not be invited to Thanksgiving this year as my family probably was for me to be away. My healthy, happy, full power vibes are too much for a lot of people, and I like it that way. Remember when we had to smack the TV because the channel wasn't coming in clearly? I feel that way about far too many people. Yep. Sorry, you have to reincarnate again until you learn to love God or whatever. This time you're going to be a Vietnamese rice farmer with no legs. Yeah, thanks so much, universe. This is very cool. Just very cool graphic. Really nice. Shows, the egg of life, and we're seeing some of these alchemical symbols and stuff. We could probably spend a good amount of time looking at that. I'll pull it up in full screen so you can pause the video and look at it closely, or if you like. People who support the current thing about lockdowns, yeah, no thank you. Natural food of private central banks has always been the bodies of children. Yup, literally and figuratively. Let's get to know each other. Where should we start? Yeah, this is how I play it. You can pause that and look at all those categories. Remember your magic in moments of struggle. Yes, God bless the lows. Do it when it's hard. Let's go. $44 billion crime scene. Apple in China bought and sold. Yup. They're honking in China. Yup. Shuffling of financial services, not actually creating value. Visual representation of me when I say sending you good vibes. Ding, 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 ding. Can you feel? Can you feel the good vibes? Love you. Control yourself, alter your thinking, delete negativity. Oh hey, look, these diagnostic test instruments and apparatus were being exported to a large degree in 2018. Man, it's almost like they could see into the future or something. Wow, those guys are so smart that we should listen to them all the time, and especially when they have no... Yeah, enough of that. We both said things we didn't mean, but that's behind us now. I meant every word. You proved yourself to be a dangerous order follower and a threat to those around you. Yup. Government corruption we've seen versus what we haven't even seen yet. Yup. Rabbit hole goes deep, fam. Spend trillions on bills they haven't read, but want details on how you spend $600. Oh, missing context. Maybe that's not true. Mm-hmm. Oh, all the healthy ingredients. Yeah, let's make a list. Mm-hmm. Yep, we're sipping a whole lot of that told you so tea. Keep going when the going is hard and slow. That is patience. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. When you're so woke, you realize that being woke is just woke is just woke is just woke. It's turtles all the way down. Yep, friend who's far away is sometimes much nearer than one who is at hand. I'm right there with you, fam. He went through his windshield, got trampled by a herd of cows, and then run over by a tractor. I guess it was another case of that thing then. Well, Jah has defended you in battles you didn't even know about. All day, every day. I'm just so thankful that my heart keeps beating and the lungs keep working. Like, you know, it's already yours. Manifested. That's the mantra. It's already yours. It's already yours. It's just preparing yourself for the vibration that fits the thing that you desire. Love each other. Gentle and kind. I like that. Circus is struggling to find new clowns as top prospects go into politics. But yeah, new shot, new data. Who's the test group? Who's the control group? And who's the, treasonous greetings. Yep, that guy. Yeah, that guy's a schmuck. I don't always visit islands where hundreds of... Yeah, but when I do, I go 37 times. People who think you should be able to own guns and people who think you shouldn't. Any questions? Yeah. Incoherent speech. This is interesting. Just a piece of information for your information bucket. Senior members of Congress almost always have conflicts of interest. Mitch McConnell's #1 in conflict is China. His wife inherited her shipping business, and the majority of their ships were built in China, registered in Liberia, Hong Kong. Career politicians. Why Congress needs term limits. Yep. Conflicts of interest. Here we have Mao, and here we have El Mao. Goon. We are more powerful when we empower each other. That's what this channel is about. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm being consistent, getting this up to you. If even one person sees this video, I'm here to empower you. I'm here to let you know that you are awesome for being here, and that you can do your part, and I will do my part, and we will meet on the mountaintop and dance under the moonlight. Let's go. There used to be two, and now it's really sensitive. Ooh, this one's kind of interesting, just showing some alchemy stuff. Pretty cool. You can just pause the video and take a better look at that. That was really nice. When people travel to the past, they worry about changing the present by doing something small. Few people think they can radically change the future by doing something small in the present. Word up. When she goes through your phone and now she's questioning the government and her entire existence, yup. I'm done playing sensei though. Like, I'm not really interested in dating someone unless they have kind of figured these things out already. I'm definitely willing to walk the path together, but I'm not playing mentor. Ooh, this I really liked. The spiritual narcissism I'm witnessing is especially aimed at young women whose shadow side craves the ultra-sexy, spiritual, witchy, manifesting, all-abundant goddess status. It's another level of deception which is more tied into princess programming than any true spiritual path. These packages, which I see marketed, are preying on the darker elements of the feminine and are often tied into rituals and rites that may trick those seeking into black magic. Yeah, that like seductive, sexy, feminine energy, Lilith energy, it really can become black and dark if you're not careful, and the nihilism and the narcissism that accompany it are extremely destructive. And you know, whatever. I'm not denying that there's an equal, balanced, toxic masculine thing to be aware of, because there definitely is. But I just thought that was well stated. If it can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. Ah-ho. Look at every path closely and deliberately. Try it as many times as you think necessary. Does this path have a heart? If it does, it's good. If it doesn't, it's no use. Me trying to explain to peeps what I do for work. Yep. This is how I feel all the time. Is this one of those trick books that you pull it off the shelf and a hidden door opens? Oh yeah, all of them. If you do your work truly and conscientiously, unknown friends will come and seek you. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. This is beautiful. When all desires are let go, the mortal becomes immortal and reaches the eternal. Upanishads. Beautiful, beautiful. Stairway of Heaven. Jacob's Ladder. Let's go, fam. How in the fuck can you not laugh at the absolute stupidity of this picture when we know these things don't work? Clown Prince of virtue signaling. Ah, man, this guy is so darn lost. If he wasn't causing so much damage to people, you would almost feel bad for him. He needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held accountable like a small child and put in the corner and just, you know, gently nudged and told he's a fucking knucklehead and needs to knock it off. I only trust the science when I can ask questions about it and sue liars. Amen to that. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. Leonardo da Vinci, very nice. Quarantine camp set ablaze by someone in Lao Tzu City. Okay, what we got here? We got a couple more. Gaslighting, manipulative tactic. That moment you realize your worth isn't tied to how others perceive you and treat you, and you go out and find your own power, truth, value, and purpose. Yes. Full fucks. No fucks given. Full fucks sent. Boundaries you don't set today become the drama you face tomorrow. This one's really nice as well. Really cool art. Very beautiful. Value of banknotes in Venezuela. You see what happens when they inflate to zero, and it's coming. Any of these memes about destroying your television and throwing it out the window, I love. So, all of them. It's that time of year again where you can see the fraud and crimes against humanity in the air. Yup. Sterilize already depressed kids, cut off their body parts, reduce their dating pool to zero, eliminate their chance to have a family, turn them into lifelong medical patients, and then legalize euthanasia for depression. This is Canada. Holy cow, what a world. Fucking aim. Sunglasses, cellular suicide. Wearing sunglasses starves the pineal gland. One of the main reasons people get skin cancer. Very interesting. Build your own water filter at home. Could be useful. Chlorella. These I got from this channel on Telegram called The Nature Apothecary. Very nice. I recommend it. Amazing health benefits of turmeric. You can pause and get a closer look at some of these. This one you're making the filter actually out of like birch bark or whatever, which is cool. It's a real cool way of doing it. Any food that has a TV commercial. Happy socialist fleeing free healthcare, housing, and college. These guys, I don't know. I think they might get caught. Warm lemon water. Venezuelan currency, at least there's something useful you can do with it. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. Before you heal someone, ask him if he's willing to give up the things that make him sick. Hippocrates, the one the Hippocratic Oath is named after. Maybe worth a listen. Not my ancestors' pain, but my ancestors' healing. Hooray. Disobey. Yeah. Ooh, this is kind of about feng shui and showing your space some love. Yeah. If wars can be started by lies, peace can be started by truth. Very much, I like that. Whatever it takes. Peace at all costs. Or peace, I don't know. I mean, yeah, basically. Yeah, if you think Twitter's this bad, wait until you think about Google and YouTube. I really wish I could just say whatever the fuck I feel like on YouTube. Like, you know. More cowbell. Obnoxious and annoying, all for the fun of it. Let's go. And that is our memes of the week. Dun 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 dun. Hope you enjoyed. And that is my video for the week. Thank you for spending the time with me. I hope you enjoy listening as much as I enjoy speaking. And please drop a like, comment, subscribe, share. And thank you for being here. And at some point we'll get, I'll figure out my streaming situation so we can get live streams and we can actually have some discussion in the chat. I will enjoy that very much. I'm very happy to field questions and open the discourse to all sorts of wonderful topics. And we're going to get a lot of good stuff done here. So, but in the meantime, we're dealing with what we got, and I'm happy to record a video for you each week so we can keep the dialogue going and keep the narrative going. And full circle, just there is nothing in this world that is more important than being gentle and kind and caring. And all the things that we have to do, and you know, they fall into it, and you know, we gotta kind of balance it out and do our best with that. So, but being gentle and caring and kind is the core of it. Just love, just the best type of love that you can imagine, that you would want to receive. If you can give that to others, that's where the juice is at. That's where the magic's at. So anyway, until next week, love you very much. Be well, and do something amazing this week, and maybe you can bring it back to me and bring me a story. And I will do some amazing stuff this week, and I will have more stories for next week, and it will be awesome, and the journey continues, and we're going to take it all the darn way, and I will meet you on the mountaintop for sure. Word up, love and light, carry the vibe. I will catch you next time. Peace.